Hi guys, my name's Jackie Jackson. I'm 41 years old. I'm a GC in the Raleigh area here in North Carolina, originally from New Zealand. I'm married. I have two children, a 5-year-old girl and a 3-year-old boy. And I'm about to have bariatric surgery. My intention for this is to simply document the process. During my initial research before I pulled the trigger on it was, going down the YouTube channel to find someone to relate to see if it was for me, to find a male sort of specific outcome and sort of how they managed and balanced their life around it, what the effects were of it, in a busy lifestyle. And while there were a couple of guys that did document the journey for quite a while, there was nothing in recent, like sort of in the last 2 to 3 years. So I thought, well, there's nothing stopping me from doing that. So hopefully this will help someone along the way with making your decisions and, helping you take the leap of faith to get this done. Or avoid it like the plague if it all goes pear-shaped. I don't know. I am currently 2 days out from surgery. It's Tuesday the 28th of January 2025. My surgery is Friday morning at 7 o'clock. And yeah, we're doing it. So my background is I played rugby for 30 years in New Zealand. I just had to think about weight loss when I was younger, and I would lose whatever I needed to. I was super fit, super strong, super healthy. I must have broke every joint in my body multiple times over my 30 years of playing, but never I broke a bone, well, not mine anyways. And never really thought about it. Bounced back pretty quick, blew out my knees every season, but was always strapped up and ready to go for the next one. Didn't really think about the toll I was putting on my body or having to pay that toll. But dear God, have they come collecting. Over the last couple of years, my mobility has been seriously reduced. I have constant back pain, chronic hip pain, knees, shoulders, head to toes, try and find a part that doesn't hurt. And while I've had the big ones operated on, I've had a full decompression of my lumbar vertebrae, I've had a knee replacement, I've had knee reconstructions. The weight still keeps coming and still creates more drama. However, the one thing they haven't been able to bring back or reconstruct or replace is my metabolism, which seems to have died or gone AWOL. It's non-existent. And I think there's probably an inverse relationship there between my metabolic rate and my mobility level. Well, my weight, I should say, and my mobility level. Because the pounds have been coming and coming and coming, and I can't, doesn't matter what I do, I just can't keep them off. I've tried every fad diet over the last 5 years with full conviction, to the point where I think it was detrimental. I got told to stop the carnivore diet because my levels were off the chart, and I was probably going to end up in a hospital. And I just felt like absolutely terrible on the keto for sort of similar sort of reasons. So tried all different types of variations and wonder drugs and all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, as soon as you stop, they come back with a vengeance, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. My kids, you think you only have a window, a small window with your kids when they want to play with you, and they want to, you're their world, you're the sun in their sky, and not being able to make the most of that is just simply not good enough. It's heartbreaking, So desperate times call for desperate measures, and that's why I'm doing this. In terms of numbers, I am 325 pounds. I'm 42.7 on the BMI index. I'm 6'1" in height, and I'm a broken man. And we're looking to lose, as I said, around that sort of 120 pounds, sort of 50-ish kilos, 7, 8, 9 stone would be optimal. I think that's sort of a realistic weight. If I go back, if I go past that and then come back to that, in the long term, that'll be sort of a job well done, I think. So far, the process for me started in October. Last week of October, I had my initial consultation. I reached out to Rex Bariatrics here in Raleigh, and I was given an appointment the next day or the day after. It was very quick, with Dr. Linda Youngworth. Great reviews, no BS kind of lady, just straight to the point. This is what you need, this is what I'm willing to do, and I think it's going to give you a greater chance of success. So we spoke about the usual diets, history, what we tried, what worked, what didn't work, and she was sort of like, cool, yep, this is what you need, and that's a SADI-S. She was so adamant and sort of about it that I was kind of taken by surprise. There wasn't really any wiggle room. I was sort of tossing up the gastric sleeve, and she just threw it out the window. She said, no, you're wasting your time. The weight will come back. She said, no, this is going to give you like a 99.5 to sort of 95% chance of the weight never coming back. And, I think it's the best route forward for you. So I was, okay, let's do it. It seems, and further research from that date was that it's a new thing. It seems to be easier for the surgeons. I don't know if it's just a matter of pumping people through on a production line, or there doesn't seem to be that long-term data where it says it is actually more beneficial for the patients, but it is, the latest and greatest in bariatric surgery at the moment. So I'm getting it done on Friday, 7 o'clock, and that's that, I suppose. Again, just continuing on with the pre-op. So we had, from that consultation, October, I think I had a nutrition class to do in November. It was that first week of November. And that was at Rex Bariatrics in their classroom, and that covered portion size, and how much we eat, and eating habits, and how they've changed over the years. And one thing they talked about was, back at the sort of early 1900s or turn of the century, they were saying that our salad plates was the size of, was a standard dinner serving or a standard portion, and our dinner plates that we know today were serving platters for like a family of 4. I mean, I wasn't there. I couldn't say whether that was bullshit or not, but it makes you think that that we probably do eat a lot, just because we can. not because we need to. And that was kind of the point, you know, understanding that there are triggers when your body tells you it's full, it's had enough, it's got what it needs, and just to put the fork down. And what that looks like. And how, you know, we need to start avoiding drinking with meals. And just sort of this, it's not heavy, it's sort of just habits and little sort of tidbits of information they provided in that initial class that sort of make you think. I think this whole process is quite drawn out to make you think about what you're doing, make you aware of what you're doing, so that you can either make those changes yourself before you jump on a table and have surgery, or, you know, or just understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. The following day I did an online version of that same class. It was just about vitamins and the role of vitamins in the post-op phase, and how they are pretty much the key to staying alive and staying out of hospital. You know, and that's sort of the reasons that we need to focus on hydration first, protein second, and then, you know, but the unnegotiables are those daily vitamins and how they interact with each other and the timing that's associated with those vitamins. That was the topic of the second class. From there, I had to do all the labs. I had, they damn near sucked me dry of blood to do about 357 tests, covering every element known to man. And then I had a ultrasound, so they check out your gallbladder, because if there's any issues with that, they'll remove it while they're in there. And they're also checking for fatty deposits on your livers, so that they can address that with the liquid diet for that sort of time frame leading up to the surgery. I was clear there, so I didn't have to do any of the sort of like the month or the 2 week long liquid diet first. I just have to have a liquid diet's just restricted to 1 day before. So I'm lucky in that sense. Then I had to do two hours of behavioural health assessments, they called them. Basically two 1 hour sessions with a shrink, covering mental health, habits that, you know, both genetic, that you're genetically predisposed to, or, I mean, they're all in my family, like the whole gambit's in there. I avoid them like the plague because of that, but you know, they still like to justify their existence. I think Rick's Bariatrics is the only people that make you do that, though. It's extremely uncomfortable. You know, the person on the other end that's sort of asking you all these questions, just collecting the paycheck. They don't really give a shit about you. But you know, once they've justified their existence, only they can sign you off, and the surgeon won't talk to you until they have. So as much as I tried to avoid that, they wouldn't let me. So in the end, I bit the bullet and just dealt with it and told them what they wanted to hear. Following all of that, I had to have a fight with the GP or the primary care provider about getting a sign-off on the surgery. They were not supportive of this at all, which I find quite fascinating. I think in my case, my GP was sort of thought that weight loss surgery should have been restricted for medical necessities, or you know, people that were in far worse shape than I am. or a lot further along on the sort of obesity scale. But he was told that he needed to get on board. This is happening. I'm doing it for me. I have my reasons. And that if he didn't sign off, I'd just find someone who would. So we talked that out, and I made it crystal clear what my motivations for doing it was, and he wanted me to try some other things. I like the GLP-1s and all that sort of shit, and I'm just not interested in temporary fixes. I think there's going to be, again, I don't think there's going to be permanent weight loss with those programs and those injections. I think as soon as people stop, it's going to come back and they're going to be back to square one. And, I just wanted to avoid all that. I don't have that sort of time to f around with this. So I made my intentions extremely clear, and he signed off on the end. And then I had was it last week before? Just after Christmas anyways. I had my final consultation with the surgeon. That was literally 30 seconds long. She walked in, she said, "We all go for the SADI?" I was like, "Yes." She's like, "Are you 100% sure we're doing this?" I was like, "Yes." "Good." She said, "Okay, come follow me." She signed a piece of paper and said I'd get a call from the scheduler, and that was that. Got a call from the scheduler and the billing department wanting a large chunk of change, so I did that. And in between then, I've had to do a final nutrition class, and that was just like a final weigh-in, and that was about the vitamins and supplements and making sure we had the right ones and we knew which ones we needed to buy, and just in case we were idiots, there was a store downstairs at Rex Bariatrics where they could supply you at a cost, of course, everything you needed. So that packet was typically your multivitamins, your iron pills, your calcium chews, your broths, protein, and everything else you need. I had pretty much everything. I did their vitamin suite just to make sure I got the right ones, and then I will just get them off Amazon or wherever I can find them cheaper going forward, making sure they are the exact same. And I brought an unflavored protein just to mix in with the broths. I do not have a sweet tooth. I'm kind of hoping I don't have to live on those protein shakes. I think the Premiers and the Orgains and all that sort of stuff, they're just too sweet. I'm not looking forward to having to deal with that, but I do enjoy the bone broth, so hopefully that'll work for me. Also at that final class, they were sort of saying what to expect about the diet. I think everyone's diet is going to be different. There's a lot of questions that everyone has about, how long do I have to be on a clear liquid diet, and how long am I going to be on the full liquid diet, and like how long before I can actually have a real meal again? Is that going to be ever, or is it a year, or is it 2? And what the lovely ladies were saying in this particular instance was we're about 1 to 2 days on clear liquids post-op, maybe 3, and then sort of about 2 weeks after that you're on your full liquid, which is like your protein shakes and all that sort of shit. And then from there, it'll be in a puree food diet for, again, another couple of weeks potentially. 10 days on the low end, and then onto a soft food diet, and sort of returning to eating normal foods in about 6 months. So it's not that bad. I mean, you're not going to be eating cheeseburgers and pizzas, every week or ever. But, if that's what got you here in the first place, are they really necessary? I don't think so. The drinking is going to be a big thing. I do enjoy a beer. I enjoy a lot of beers. I won't be able to. No carbonation. It's the bubbles in there that supposedly expand your stomach and can really F things up in there, create stress and drama that's not necessary. So they will be missed. Obviously your absorption rates in terms of like alcohol, like your bourbons and wine and things like that, is extremely elevated. So for every drink you're gonna have, it's gonna hit you like a ton of bricks, and you're gonna have to really need to justify, do you want to have it? And there is a high risk of alcoholism after the fact, whether through stress or so you got to be careful with it. I thought it'd be a lot harder for me to give up. Not that I'm an alcoholic, but I do enjoy a drink. I enjoy the social aspect. I enjoy the finer things in life. I enjoy a really good wine and a very, very expensive bourbon, but not anymore. So that's a sacrifice I've had to make. But it's for my kids, and there's nothing on this planet worth more than my kids. So I'm just going to keep that in mind. So the whole process thus far has taken pretty much 3 months, start to finish. From initial consultation to surgery. There are trepidations and sort of, it's not uneasy, I'm not scared, I don't know if nervous is the right word. It's just such a big thing to be going through on Friday that it's a lot to process. I just want to make sure I'm going in level-headed, calm, understanding why I'm doing this, prepared for what's coming, and ready to face it head on and be better for it. And then let's just get over the surgery hurdle, and then we'll start talking about the exercise plan and getting that mobility back. But I just wanted to put this out there as a I'm here, I'm doing this. If it's of any interest to you, I'm gonna just keep putting out videos that, and hopefully answer some questions and provide some context and a real life example of what post-op bariatric life looks like for a dad of two, and working professional, and trying to juggle all that sort of stuff with on a severely restricted diet, and all the trials and tribulations that are going to be awaiting us. So follow along, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers guys, bye.